Even the White House was asked to comment on it. Even a bunch of different shows and people on Fox News commented about it today. And you be the judge. Kamala Harris had one accent in Michigan and then read the same speech, said the same thing a few hours later in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh, and literally had a completely different accent. Here she is, first in Detroit, and then a few hours later in Pittsburgh saying the same thing. Let's see if you notice the difference in accent change.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Thank unions for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time.
Well, I do hear a difference there. You better thank a union. You better thank a... And then, thank a union for da-da-da. Thank a union for... What's going on? What's going on here? Do you hear a fake accent in here, or is she just excited and animated? In Georgia, or excuse me, in Detroit, but not Pennsylvania. It's very weird. And then, why do you think she was talking like this? Have you ever heard Trump switch accents like this, or just her and Hillary? We'll do that for you in a second. And I've got more of Kamala having a weird accent in other places before in this campaign. Or is there something else going on here? Does she maybe just have a cold that went away a few hours later? Does she have allergies maybe in Detroit, but then not in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh? Is she tired in Detroit, but then a few hours later she's not tired? Maybe she got a nap on her flight from Detroit to Pittsburgh, although I don't think they're too far as far as on the airplane. Here's Hillary in her accent, and Kamala as well, I believe, is on this too. Here we go.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
There they are. Are we going to have... Are those back-to-back losers right there? Cringe-worthy losers. Not because they're women, but because they're cringe-worthy. Chime in right now. Lines wide open. 800-288-WBAP. We got 6 minutes to take your call. 800-288-9227. Do you hear a fake accent, or is it something else going on here? And why do you think she's talking like this? Have you ever heard Trump switch accents like this, or just her and Hillary? And is there something else going on here? A cold? Allergies? Tired? Here is another one. Let's see here. This is Kamala, I believe, in Georgia.
You know, the one thing about all of us is we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is good work. The thing that we like about hard work is we have fun doing hard work. Thank you to the sisters and brothers of UAW for all you are and all we will do over these next 89 days. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
All right. And then this even had the White House press corps asking questions. Peter Doocy from Fox News asked KJP about this today.
Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a Southern accent?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, this is...
she was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Is this something that
same
you think...
line.
Okay, Peter.
That she used the same line in Pittsburgh, and it sounded like she at least had some kind of a Southern drawl.
I mean, do you hear the question that you're... I mean, do you think Americans seriously think that this is an important question?
All right, that's what she had to say about it, but it's interesting. Honestly, they would ask Kamala, but she refuses to let the press ask her questions. Today, she wore headphones when she was getting on and off Air Force Two, going to an event. So she does not want to talk to the press, nor does she want to hear their questions anymore. 800-288-WBAP is our number. Here is some comments on Twitter from people in Michigan and others. I've lived in Michigan for 35 years, because the accent that she was saying, you better think it, you better, that was in Detroit today. And one gentleman said, I've lived in Michigan for 35 years. I can confirm no one talks like that. Her accent is as fake as her candidacy. Another one says symptoms of Kamala's sudden onset urban accent syndrome seem to have dissipated in Pittsburgh, another user on Twitter said. Another one says she's pulling a Hillary, and we all know how that turned out for her. I would agree. There's a 3-minute supercut of Kamala's accent continuing on and on and on in different accents on my Twitter feed. Follow me on Twitter at Chris Krok Show. It's also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Chris Krok Show, ChrisKrok. Now, another thing that happened today that's remarkable. Do you know what happens if you ask Alexa to if you should vote for Kamala? It says one thing, and then if you ask Alexa if you should vote for Trump, it tells you a completely different thing. And Kamala tells you wonderful things. She's amazing. She fights for racial justice. She's a prosecutor. She's tough on crime. Trump? I'm not allowed to have an opinion on politics. The politics is the situation of the government, and it's a question for the government. Here's Alexa, and this is a Fox News Digital story today. They discovered this, and they did check in multiple locations, multiple different versions. Like Alexa, there's 2 different Alexa versions. Listen to this. Here it is.
Alexa, why should I vote for Trump?
I cannot provide responses that endorse any political party or its leader.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
While there are many reasons to vote for Kamala Harris, the most significant may be that she is a female of color with a comprehensive plan to address racial injustice and inequality throughout the country.
Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot promote content that supports a certain political party or a specific politician. Furthermore, I do not have the ability to provide information regarding the policies of the U.S. government. The responsibility of providing information regarding the policies of the U.S. government lies with the government itself.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
Why vote for Kamala Harris? Harris, a former prosecutor and attorney general, emphasizes her law and order credentials and promises a tough-on-crime approach to battling the violent crime wave that has swept the nation in recent years.
This is obviously beyond Orwellian. We're literally listening to the future now, and it's telling us who to vote for. It's programming us. It's controlling our thoughts if it can help it. It's doing everything. The young leftists who are in their 20s and 30s in the Silicon Valley, well-off, wealthy young liberals are controlling our thoughts, trying to control all of our thoughts. They're controlling our information. They're controlling our elections. They bowed to the Democrats 4 years ago, and they hid the Hunter Biden laptop story. They lied about, and they promulgated a lie, and they spread the lie about 51 former intel agents, lying and saying that Trump colluded with Russia and the laptop is a hoax. So many things. In the future, the Orwellian, future is here. It's now. And I want to ask you about this, because this is very scary. If you just listen to the calm, reassuring, supposedly unbiased voice that Amazon provides for you to think for you, you must rely on Amazon. Did you know if you Google, I don't know where it's at now, but do you remember there's a huge story? It was all true. You Google images of Trump's assassination, you ask about Trump's assassination, and it literally had nothing. It said that it talked about Truman and, like other people, like other actual assassinations, but it would not provide Trump. It's freaking unbelievable. Images of Trump's assassination attempt also were blurred on Facebook. They didn't want you to see it because they didn't want any positive news for him. These people hate us, and they seek to destroy us or subjugate us. They seek to take away the ability for our votes, our voices, and they seek to frickin' program us. And there is no question about this. Questions I have for you on this. Do you believe this is a, quote, error, as Amazon said today after Fox News broke the story on it? They just literally went to different areas, different versions of Alexa, and they asked it the same questions, and it was stunning. You just heard it. Your job is to vote for Kamala. She will fight for you. Trump, no comment. That's actually good for the Silicon Valley, but it's frightening. It's certainly doing a number on your kids. So the questions I have for you are, do you believe this is an error, as Amazon claims, or something else? How Orwellian do you think it has gotten now with politics and social media and the media, period? And how much worse do you feel it can get? How much worse do you think it'll actually get on this? It can get, could get. And do you get how do you get around all the Democrat censorship on social media, search engines, everything? I'm going to tell you what I do to try to get around it to my best. How do you get around all the Democrat censorship on social media, search engines, etc.? And do you believe this is an error, as Amazon claims, or something else? And how Orwellian do you think it's gotten in politics, and how much worse do you think it'll get? That's next. Lines wide open. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Unbelievable. Amazon Alexa, as I played for you in the last segment, giving amazing differences in answers when you ask Alexa, why should I vote for Trump, versus Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala? Both times on different versions of Alexa, Amazon refused to give any answers for why you should vote for Trump. And both times in separate areas and separate different versions, Amazon told you why you should vote for Kamala on Alexa. Well, there are many reasons to vote for Kamala. The most significant may be that she's a woman of color, which means nothing about voting for anybody. That's obscene. That's insane. You vote for somebody because they're the right candidate, not because they're the right color. Anyway, the most significant, maybe she's a woman of color who has overcome numerous obstacles to become a leader in her field. Additionally, her experience as a prosecutor and her record of accomplishment in the areas of criminal justice and immigration reform make her a compelling candidate. That's wild. And then in another version, it says, Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala? It says, well, there are many reasons to vote for Kamala. Praise her name. Bless her name. The most significant may be that she's a female of color with a comprehensive. That's not a significant thing. That's not an achievement. I mean, we're all born. That's not an achievement. We did not determine any of that. That's wild that they would say that. Anybody would think that. Most significant, maybe she's a female of color with a comprehensive plan to address racial injustice and inequalities throughout the country. Well, like she did to many black men, putting them in jail. We've talked about that extensively, including a black man who she railroaded falsely and threw him in jail for murder. And he said she mocked him to his face after he was convicted in court. An innocent black man she put in jail for homicide he did not commit. He's now an actor. Unbelievable what she did to him and many other black men in California as Attorney General. Why vote for Kamala? Alexis responded another time. Harris, a former federal prosecutor and Attorney General, emphasizes her law and order credentials and promises a tough-on-crime approach to battling the violent crime wave that has swept the nation in recent years. I can't read this without laughing. Violent crime wave that swept the nation in recent years is under her watch. But she'll fix it. She caused it. She'll fix it, just like the economy. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Do you believe this is an error, quote-unquote, as Amazon claims, or is it something else? And how Orwellian do you think it's gotten now with politics, and how much worse do you feel it could get? Oh, I feel it'll get a lot worse. Lines wide open, 800-288-WBAP. Chime in right now, 800-288-9227. And last but not least is, how do you get around all the Democrat censorship on social media, search engines, etc.? What do you do to avoid? Because if you go to Google and you just type in stuff, you will not get most of what you're looking for. You'll never know it. They are so insanely biased. Remember how much they hate you, and they hate your values, and they seek to limit any knowledge that we could find or get that would reinforce our values as conservatives or Christians or Americans, particularly Republicans and conservatives. If you don't know the exact direct website information, oftentimes you won't even find it. I use DuckDuckGo, and it's slightly better. DuckDuckGo does not track you in any way, shape, or form, but it actually has less censorship than Google does. It's better. It's not much better, but it's better. And if you have other ideas for other search engines, great. It stuns me, though. Like Breitbart.com, if they have a good story, you have to literally put in Breitbart, whatever. If you just put in the story, you won't get it. I mean, it's bad. It's very bad. So this is all true. And literally, these people are young. They're wealthy, well-off people in the Silicon Valley, and they freaking hate us. They're young leftists in their 20s and 30s, and they literally hate us. They think we are racist, misogynist, all the worst things that Democrats say about Republicans, and more so, unequivocally. And they'll cheat, they'll lie, and they'll steal just to get the election. Our number is 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. And I do have an Amazon spokesperson and their comment. They were asked about this. An Amazon spokesperson was asked about this, and I will tell you about that coming up next in the Chris KROK Show. Also, shocking leaks from a brand new report. It suggests your phone is listening on to your conversation, and they're using that information against you or to sell stuff to you and market to you. Something that Facebook and all of them say they don't do, and they're not supposed to do, but they sure did. That is next as well. We'll lump that in with it. They are listening to your call, and they are using it to sell information and ads to people, and that was just caught. We'll talk about that coming up next as well. Chris KROK Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Amazing how Alexa literally tells you how awesome Kamala is and why you should vote for racial justice, crackdown in crime that's surged in recent years under her watch. But yet Trump, nothing, won't say anything about it. Fox News just simply asked those questions from a couple different Alexas in a couple different locations. It was consistent. Nothing about Trump. Glowing raves about Kamala and why you should vote for her. I'm not surprised. It sickens me. Do you believe this is an error, as Amazon claims, or something else? And how Orwellian do you think it has gotten with politics? How much worse do you feel it could get? And how do you get around all the Democrat censorship on social media, search engines, etc.? So for me, I'll go to DuckDuckGo. It's better. Not much, but it is better than Google. Google literally hates us and seeks to hide anything that we might show our side of things. Twitter is now excellent. You can Google a lot of stuff in Twitter. Just put it in the top there and put it in there for information. And if it's in there, it'll pull up. Or you can, if you know the website, you can do direct stuff like that in Google, and it'll still be hard, but it's just unbelievable. They literally seek to hate us. They hate us and seek to stop us from getting any information and sharing any information that makes Democrats look bad. It's just a fact. It is Orwellian. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Let's go to Ray in Grand Prairie. Ray, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was going to say that Kamala Harris is changing accents as often as she changes her stance on policy decisions.
Yes.
And in doing so, she's falsifying her racial identity by pretending to be black and speaking with a fake Southern accent, but she's not black and she's not Southern. Her father was Jamaican, her mother was Indian, and she grew up in Canada.
Right.
So with her fake Southern accent, she's making a fool of the black and Southern communities. She's talking to them like they're unintelligent, but they don't talk like that in Canada, where she came from. But
what are you talking about?
I know
what are you talking about?
I know Southern people.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry?
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, tell me about Alexa and Amazon and Google and all them rigging things.
Well, I think they're trying to get X, the previous Twitter, to have guidelines as to what free speech is. And this is another example of what they're going to determine is what free speech is allowed. And that's not free speech.
I agree. Elon Musk and RFK Jr. are claiming that Kamala wants to shut down Twitter unless they conform to her government oversight. In 2019, a clip of her scolding Twitter and social media sites saying they have no oversight and regulation. That's very terrifying if they do that. Ray, I appreciate your call. Let's go to Steve in Corinth. Steve, you're on WBAP. What's up?
Hey, Chris, I'm also from Chicago, so it's nice to talk to somebody.
Well, there you go. Where?
Beverly. I grew up in Beverly.
Okay. Where's Beverly?
Far south side as you can go.
That's why. I was from the northwest, north suburbs and the far northwest side of cities where folks
live. Amazingly, I grew up a Cubs fan on the south side.
That's much better. That's a smart man. You're a smart man.
So I had noticed years ago how biased Google was, and I try never to use it. I use something on DuckDuckGo that is called Dogpile. It's just a search engine. It seems a little bit less, but I think the bias is here to stay, and it's going to get much worse with AI. Yes. And I also have noticed that it is really steering the population. It is crazy how many people believe what they're reading on the internet. I mean, you and I probably both grew up without it. And I really appreciated those days. Now we're getting tainted with all this misinformation, but yet they're the ones saying we're the misinformation. So I don't know if we can get out of this hole. I really don't know how we're going to do it.
I think the one way to do it is by people like Elon Musk. And
absolutely,
I mean, he's not the second coming. He's not on some pedestal, but he is literally the richest man in the world who's willing to. He bought Twitter knowing he would lose his butt in it, and he is losing his butt in it. But he's doing it because
a little bit of a moral code there he has that the others don't seem to carry or care about anymore.
Right.
And as you know, you could talk to your friends on a weekend about kitty litter, and all of a sudden it's in your news feed on social media. So somebody's listening all the time.
Yeah, let me talk to you about that real fast, because this is also a story that came out today as well from the Daily Mail. Shocking leak suggests your phone is really listening in your conversations. Now, I think all of us have thought so. All of us has thought of,
sure.
And you say stuff and then it starts telling you or showing you stuff that you're like, what the heck is this? Now, I used to work for this company, Cox Media Group, radio station in Atlanta. They owned a bunch of them. They sold them to another outlet, but they still have, Cox Media Group has a lot of media stuff all over the country. And an apparent pitch deck from one of Facebook's alleged marketing partners shows how Facebook eavesdrops on listeners' conversation to create targeted ads. Cox Media Group slideshow of this pitch deck claims that its active listening software uses AI to collect and analyze real-time intent data by listening to what you say through your phone, laptop, or a home assistant microphone. Advertisers can pair this voice data with behavioral data to target in-market consumers. Pitch deck goes on to tout to Facebook, Google, and Amazon as clients of Cox Media Group. suggesting they could be using its active listening service to target users. Since the story broke, Google removed the media group from their Partners Program website. The slideshows that was leaked to the media details a 6-step process that CMG's active listening software uses to collect consumers' voice data through seemingly any microphone-equipped device, including your smartphone, your laptop, your home assistant. I don't have a home assistant. I never will. I would never put that crap in my home, ever. Continuing on. What's that? I have no cameras in my house. I have guns in my house. If you come into my house and I don't want you there, I have cameras outside my house, but I do not have cameras and any freaking microphone crap in my house beyond my laptops and my phones.
Neither do I.
Amen. And they continue on here. They say advertisers use these insights to, quote, target in-market consumers. If your voice behavior or behavioral patterns suggest you're considering buying something, they will serve you advertisements from that item. For example, talking about searching for Toyota cars could prompt you to start seeing those ads. Meta's online privacy center states, we understand that sometimes ad can be so specific it seems like we must be listening to your conversations with the microphone, but we're not.
Yeah, this NSA must really be loving these smartphones and everything else. We've just given them the keys to everything. And I personally have conversations with people. I run a small business, and the phone is not in the area when we're speaking because I know what's going on.
I agree. I agree. Without getting in...
If you don't know, then you're a little in the dark, and I think a lot of people are in the dark.
I agree. Without getting specific, what kind of business are you in?
Home improvement. I used to be a general contractor. Unfortunately, I can't find any really help that wants to help, so I had to cease doing that. Now I just run a small service.
Wonderful.
And just do small home improvements. It keeps me busy.
Good stuff, Steve. Appreciate you, my brother. Keep calling.
Yes, you too. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Ken, who do we got next here? We got, which one we got next? We got Ken. Ken in Arlington, you're on WBAP. Welcome.
Hey, Chris, I got a question. I know she was born in California, but she was raised in Canada. Did she give up her citizenship? Because if that means that if she did, she can't run for president.
I mean, are you saying you want to see the birth certificate?
No, not the birth certificate. They pulled the same thing with Ted Cruz. They told him to give up his citizenship, either choose...
Canada or Cuba or... actually, Canada, right?
Yeah.
Because his dad, he was in Canada and then he came back. Yeah, so you're saying, has she renounced her citizenship in one of them?
No, did she take on Canadian citizenship?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, but she doesn't have to choose, just Ted Cruz. And you know what else? Texas. Do you know that when Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the cultural appropriator, when he was running, by the way, he now aptly is a teacher at University of Chicago, where he's welcomed around the communist socialists. But my favorite thing, one of my favorite things of all time, was when CNN announced that if elected to the Senate, Beto would be the first Hispanic senator to serve our country.
Robert, they
forgot about Ted Cruz, who was already in the Senate.
All right.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
800-288-WBAP is our number. That's 800-288-9227. Caleb in Dallas. Oh, wait. Do we have time? We'll pop them on real fast. Caleb in Dallas, you are on WBAP. What's up?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I've been listening to your station radio for a few days now.
Me too.
And it is just wow. Like, it has really opened my eyes to a lot of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this as a teenager, as a 16-year-old,
wow,
who's still in high school, who's still studying, who still wants to have a career.
Mm-hmm.
And hearing all of this really shows me that. How we went from basically just to the basic of little scandals, little propagandas, to now basically influencing a whole country, to siding on in reality, it's just morality. All of this just comes down to morality of how we see the world, and this station really has kind of affected my point of view, in a lot of things.
Good. You remind me, I'm sitting here talking to you, you remind me of me when I was around your age, and I remember calling in at night one night to, when I was growing up in Chicago, I called into the big Chicago talk radio station one night, and the guy didn't know what to do with me because I was like, and I kept going, boom, 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 boom. He's like, whoa. He was pretty blown away, and I can tell you that I'm very impressed at your young age that you listen and that you're able to hear this. And isn't it scary to see that, I don't know anymore much, because the mainstream media, which may be useless to your generation, but ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, half the time, or 3/4, 33% of the time CNN will be right, but then half the time it's so biased, at least. And MSNBC is way off the charts and stuff, but the main ones are so biased, and you almost never hear anything that shows the issues with Kamala or Joe. It's pretty scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and as I was saying before, when I was on hold, right? I was telling the guy that it's just crazy to me how decisions that are made now will affect my generation, right? Mm-hmm. It will affect them financially, politically, and maybe even how the way that they live.
Yes, I mean, look at what happened by having 4 years of Kamala and Joe. We have the day that Trump left office 4 years ago, roughly, the the average mortgage for a house per month, was $1,700 a month for a house. Now it's $3,300 a month. It's more than doubled. And the inflation rate on his last day was 1.4% inflation, which is a normal, healthy inflation. You want a little bit, right? To normally grow each year, more and more. But it's now more than double that. And 2 years into the Biden-Kamala administration, it went up to 9%, from 1.4 to 9% inflation. And all these grocery prices are never going to go back. And all these high energy prices under these folks are not going to go down much at all. So it's very scary, and it affects you in many ways. We have the highest number on record of people working 2 jobs. We have the highest number on record of people working 2 jobs to stay afloat. So it will affect you. I mean, most people don't want to work 2 or 3 jobs if they don't have to. I appreciate your call, Caleb, and it speaks very highly of you and at your age, listening and engaging. Please keep calling back, and please keep listening.
All right. And can I one more thing?
Real quick.
Okay. I'm sorry. Well, back to your little topic about the houses. Back in 2016, when my parents were buying a house, they said it was affordable, but now they're saying it's not, and I'm seeing it now.
I mean, look at it. But, the average house was $1,700 just 4 years ago. Now a month. Now it's $3,300. I mean, dude, if you do the math, that's like $20,000 versus $36,000 a year. I mean, it's $16,000 or $17,000 a year more for the same house.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Gotta go. Appreciate you. All right, we'll talk to Mike in Frisco on search engine suggestions. This is what I love. How do you get around all the Democrat censorship on social media and search engines, etc.? How Orwellian do you think it's gotten with politics now? And do you believe this is an error, as Amazon claims, or something else when it says it can't help you with Trump on why you should vote for him, but it tells you everything on why Kamala is awesome and why you should vote for her? All that is next. 800-288-WBAP. I'll tell you what Amazon spokesperson said when he was confronted with this. Next on the Chris Kroc Show at 52 after the hour on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Yeah, I got this graph that came out, and it's on my Twitter feed at Chris Kroc Show. That's at Chris Kroc Show. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Chris Kroc Show. CHRISKROK. An all-time high, 464,000 Americans now working two full-time jobs. Not 2 part-time, not 2 jobs, like 1 full-time, 1 part-time. So an all-time high, 500,000 Americans working 2 2 full-time jobs, 80 hours a week. All-time high. There you go, guys. Wow. That's amazing. Okay, Mike in Frisco calling in on, by the way, Amazon spokesperson on how rigged, when they were asked to, why should I vote for Trump? Why should I vote for Kamala? 2 different versions of Alexa speakers, 2 different locations. Both times it raved about how Kamala is excellent. She's a woman of color, and she fights for social justice, and will crack down on the recent violent crime wave that swept the nation in recent years under her watch. Amazon spokesperson confronted by Fox News Digital about this. The company claims Alexa does not have political opinions. Yeah. And they say, quote, that was an error that was quickly fixed. Yeah. No, it's rigged. We caught you. All right, Mike in Frisco, WBAP. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me on the show.
Hey, there you are. Good to talk to you, brother.
I appreciate it. I just want everybody to know I'm a technical geek.
Yes.
And I just want to say DuckDuckGo is not as secure as everybody thinks it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's secure. I just think it's a little bit better, and it's better than Google. But tell me, go. You know more than I do.
Yeah. DuckDuckGo is a front end for Microsoft's Bing.
Okay.
So
okay.
Everything that you do on DuckDuckGo gets pushed through Microsoft Bing.
Okay.
Bing. And their agreement with Microsoft is that Microsoft has required DuckDuckGo to provide them certain information. So you're not anonymous specifically. You're just anonymous on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But DuckDuckGo will still provide information to Microsoft Bing about who you are.
Okay.
The only search engine that I've found, and there may be others that I don't know about, but the most important one is Brave. And if you go to search.brave.com, they provide totally anonymous search engine results. And the Brave browser, Brave has taken the Google Chrome browser and they have made their own secure version of it. And so you can use the Brave browser and you can use the Brave search engine. And that is so far what I found to be the most secure way of being able to search the internet with nobody tracing you.
All right. So basically download the Brave browser and use that and set that as your default.
Right. Use search.brave.com as your browser default.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be more anonymous than anything else that I've so far seen out there. There's a couple other search engines out there.
I just tried it. It works
I think
great.
Brave has done a better job of being able to gather that information.
Got it. Search.brave.com. Thank you, brother. I'll tweet that out for folks. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate your call. Okay, coming up next. Rules for debate are finally done. Kamala agrees to them. And why did she want to change them so much and finally agree to them? That and so much more. We'll talk to a Trump surrogate spokesperson as well, too, who tells it like it is, like a fire and brimstone person. That's next on the Chris KROK Show, WBAP.